Hey YouTube, you're all DM here. I wanted to talk about sentient weapons. So you're holding a great sword, and it hums with power, and you charge forward, and you feel a rush of emotion from it, telling you to duck, and you do, and an arrow whizzes by your head. You reach your enemy, you take a swing, but he dodges out of the way, and he dives in, desperate to drive a blade into your side. But your sword's already blocked the blow, quicker than you ever could of yourself. You grin as you kick him, and he's off balance. You walk over as he lands on the ground, and you finish the kill, and you feel waves of approval and pleasure coming from the blade. Badass, man. Sentient weapons are the business. I think they afford lots of role play for both the DM, the GM, and the player. So you've basically got this permanent NPC who travels with the party. An NPC with a very strong agenda, an NPC who doesn't mince words, an NPC who can definitely encourage the wielder to go on certain quests that would otherwise be maybe not a good idea. It's great for the DM because you get to roleplay this weapon that has its own plans, and it's depending on what's inside the blade, whether the blade itself is sentient or if there's a thing bound inside it. That's really interesting. It also becomes like the source of power for the character who wields it. The character becomes dependent on that weapon. He becomes so used to having this weapon who does all these things for him, like, you know, maybe block an attack or do all this extra damage and stuff like that. They become really used to having that. And if that blade is taken away, you can imagine that the character will not be pleased and will do anything he has to do to get it back. So I think that's cool. It's a conflict. You as well, you get conflicts between the weapon itself and its goals. If its goals are evil, if the goals are good and you're not good, whatever the blade's goals are, you have to weigh up if that's worth it, if it's worth holding this weapon and using it. So if the blade is powerful enough, is it worth maybe doing the occasional evil act to keep the blade satisfied? I think it's a really interesting thing to do. I'm going to be using a sentient weapon in the Andrew Knapp SRG Jokers upcoming Githyanki campaign. I'm really looking forward to that. And I think that there's a lot that can be done with sentient weapons. Hopefully that'll be a good example of it. There's also in the upcoming Drow campaign I'm going to be running, one of my players is going to have a sentient weapon, sort of like a Soul Reaver type thing. It's a weapon that has a demon bound inside it and that, you know, wants blood. So I think that's cool. You can use the weapon to you know, make your characters be a little bit crueler or a little bit more gentle or whatever the weapon's goal is. You can influence the style of the character. I think that's really fun. So tell me about your experiences with sentient weapons. Have you used them? Do you want to use them? Would you not use them? Let me know what you think. All right, thanks.